Alright, welcome back. This is Bike Talk episode 14, where I review or roast your bike. First up, we got Ondra. He says, roasty in his subject. And hi Gary, I'm a long-time fan of your channel. It's my duty to send some of my crust here too. This is my grocery getter, but it's very comfy so it can be used like a normal bike too. It's a Mongoose iBox SX, made in 1993, I think. John Tomac designed it. It's made of Tungate tubing. It's a little rough, but it rides smoothly. BMX stem and motor bars, those are kind of narrow. Found them in the trash. Original ones were stolen from me along with BMX stem I've had for almost 30 years. That sucks. Drivetrain used to be 3x9 Dior, but now it's microshift Advent. And even though the hanger is bent, it shifts perfectly. There's some things for you to roast on purpose. Check it out and be mean. Cheers, G. Ondra from Czech. Alright, thanks, Ondra. So yeah, it looks like left a few things for me, or maybe just a few mistakes that he made. Alright, let's see what he's got. So first up, he's got this bike with this giant box in the front. Definitely won't be able to see anything with that, so a few points off. Looks like he's got some laundry basket on the front here with those nice ergonomic wooden handles. And then we'll do the kind of other easy things first. Crank arm not horizontal, no bottle in bottle cage. Frame bag doesn't fit the frame. Wrong color light on the back. His chain looks a little bit too tight. You can see he's on the 5th or 6th gear here, but once he gets to these higher ones, his chain's going to be too tight for sure. He also tried to hide this hanger, but here it is, unused, a hanger spacer. I think this is probably one of the worst things you can do. And then let's see what else we got. Got some MX bars here, looks like. Got a fake kind of crackle paint job. I don't know if he did this on purpose or not, or whether it just cracked over time. Running the bell here in a very prominent position. You can tell he definitely likes to tell people to get out of the way with this bell. Got some Second Life bikes stickers here. I don't know how I feel about the scale though. And here he's got a pump with a gauge in case it gets flats. Let's see what else we got. Another side pick, not bad. At least he did a side pick. I think he's got his light here pointing down too low. Definitely gonna hit his tire, and if you look at the direction of this light, it's not going to give him a lot of visibility up front. He should be looking ahead a bit more, so probably needs like 2 degrees more tilt upwards, I think. And that's it. It's also got the sent from iPhone in a different language, so you can turn that off too. Alright, pretty cool build though, looks pretty fun. I think it kind of gets you around. I do like the big basket on the front, probably can carry a lot of laundry. Cheers, thanks Ondra. Alright, next one is Mike. Mike said roast in his subject, and he says, hi, I'm Mike from UK. Enjoy watching your bike restorations. Amazing channel, keep up the good work, mate. Thanks Mike. Please roast and review my 995 Claude bike Volante or Volante. Alu frame, 26 wheels, mountain bike converted 1x10, 1136. Used as a cruising bike, off-road and around the countryside. Thanks. Alright, so this is Mike's bike. This is a very good example of setting in a picture that you can't really see. It's almost kind of camouflage into the seat here, and then you can't really see what's going on with all this stuff in the background. So we'll skip that picture. Here is another picture. I don't know if this one's much better, but at least you can see the frame. So it looks like he stripped this frame. Can't really tell. Looks like he's got some cute spacer action happening here. Very discreet. Here you can also see that he switched out the fork to this ugly green fork. I'm surprised that he didn't strip it out to be silver as well. I feel like this green kind of coming out of nowhere. And then he's got some packing tape on the rear chainstay, and also some packing tape on the front. I've never seen someone use packing tape on their bike before, but I think he probably did it because he wanted to match the saddle and the grips there. But yeah, easy ones again. Crank arm, not horizontal, no bottom bottle cage. Cables are too long. And then down here, just when you thought he would probably send a different picture, he sends the same picture on the top one as the top one, maybe slightly different. I think the lighting's a little bit better on this one. But yeah, he almost, you can see here, he almost has the crank arm almost horizontal, but it's actually 1 or 2 degrees above. So I guess got to try again next time. Here you got some Tioga tires, got some fresh brake pads, which is pretty nice. His brakes must be set up pretty well to be running the rim less than 1 millimeter from the brake pads. Otherwise, he's actually just scraping along as he goes. But at least he has that in the right direction. And then here he's showing his spacer action, nice aluminum top cap or silver top cap, and it's got a carbon stem rise up, should be make it a bit more comfy. And then yeah, just showing his incorrect setup here of his drivetrain. Just the B limit screw is way too extreme. You can see this is his bottom cog of his derailleur, but it's super far away from his cassette, so maybe his shifting isn't the best either. And then here, last but not least, you just want to show a picture of an empty bottle cage, and that's a no-no for me. So there we go. Thanks, Mike. Nice bike. Thanks for sending it in. All right, next up we got Gio Carzo. Hi, Gary. New fan here. Saw your reels on Insta, instantly hooked. Thanks, Gio. Very constructive, even though you're just blasting hell of bikes. Haha. Here's my bike. Needed a commuter for college and ran to a dedicated fixed gear shop. 1 year passed and only components left are pedals. Wow. Hope nobody stole all his stuff. I will first roast myself for... It's funny because, yeah, people always start self-roasting now. I think they get nervous. Accent color mismatch, out of nowhere, AliExpress frame, rusty crank arm bolt, brake cable, tragically bent, random fork, no brake hole, pedals with reflectors, seat post from trash bin. Thanks for the roast and vans, Putter. No worries, Putter. So yeah, it looks like he did Google. So we gotta open these up somehow. So yeah, every time someone sends Google, people that are watching, you can blame Potter for this section being a little too slow. All right, here's his bike. I think I'm gonna have to put in the rules, no Google images, just because it takes too long. So yeah, here's his bike, fixed gear, but you can see he's running this massive gearing. Usually I would kind of respect this massive gearing, but then he has the brake, so he may as well not have it. And then here he's running a canty brake on a fixed gear. I don't think he's doing himself any favors with that. Got his Brook saddle seat up the wrong way as well, and empty bottle cage. His bars are tilted too far down a little bit compared to his seat angle. I think his wrists probably hurt a little bit. And let's see what else pictures we got. Okay, I guess his chain is pretty good. Chain looks pretty cool here. This rusted bolt doesn't look that good. He can probably put a cap on that to cover it up. He kind of put a little bit of effort in with his bolts. You can see the bolts here are green, and then the bottle cage bolt is also green. But yeah, it's a shame that he kind of left that out as well. All right, nice mashing headset. This paw hanger is quite nice as well. I think the gap here is super tight. I'm not sure what you can do about that, but maybe you can get a hanger or something that's a little bit longer. That seems super tight. And then here's the front end. Looks pretty cool. This looks fast. I like these bars. They looks like they're pretty comfy, and then the grips as well, kind of looks like knockoff Vans grips or something like that. And got the bell here. I think what's interesting here, he added this adjustment brake cable for the brake cable, probably because if you go back, there's probably no way he can adjust the barrel adjuster here. So he added another one here, and then he also has another one on his lever. So he's running 3 barrel adjusters for this brake that shouldn't even be on there. Here's a POV shot. Things looks pretty good, looks fast, looks like it'd be fun. I would probably just get rid of that front brake and it'd be a lot cleaner. All in all, that's basically it. Looks like a pretty clean build though. Looks fun. All right, cheers, Potter. Thanks for sending that. All right, next up we got Walker. Walker said review/roast. So this is his bike. Basically, it's a junkyard bike. I think he just got everything from the tip and put it together. I would say if it's just like a free type of build, good job on getting it going. But if you purposely chose all these parts, then I think it kind of is a little bit of a mismatch. If anything, I think your chain is a bit loose, your brake cable is a bit tight, and yeah, your seat is probably too far forward, which means yeah, your crutch would be hurting every time you get off the bike here. The stand over height would be too much. But yeah, it's a bike to get you around. Thanks, Walker. Thanks for sending. All right, next one is Ansel. And he said, hey, Gary, not a sub, but I watch your channel often. So that's basically a roast, trying to roast me right there. Today's submission, I own a lot of bikes. 98, K2 ProFlex 3000, mostly original, even tires. I only had it for a week. It was a marketplace score / steal. I paid 100 for a bike and 2 racks for my roof mount. So yeah, A lot of people find cheap bikes on Marketplace and they think it's a deal, but they always forget like how much money they gotta put into it. So far, all I've done is clean/detail, relive all the bearings, new gold chain for being factor, what being factor means, new cassette for better gearing, and bling factor. Oh, maybe this is bling factor too. Longest stem from 60 to 110. Maybe he means shorter. I don't see why someone would go longer on this one. New cables and housing, won't be ridden much, but it will get dirty if I hang it on the wall. Next week, I'll send pics of my client road bike. All right, so here's his bike. He asked for a roast, but yeah, I think this bike is pretty funny. Like, I actually like bikes like these because they're a little bit weird and they look super fun to ride. But yeah, it'd be a shame if you kind of just rode it once and hung it on the wall. Kind of just should probably just save it for someone else. And then here, he's got a massive dirt guard. Probably doesn't need that if he's not going to ride it. I think this is just for looks. He did say bling factor a lot in his email, so maybe he just wants to kind of show off a little bit. Here, super close in picture of Dior LX. Yeah, not much to comment on this one. I think he just wanted to show it was Dior LX. And then here, showing the rear, showing the stem action or the suspension fork. I think this is a good picture showing how it works. Looks like it's got a dual pivot here, and quite funny to run the cables inside your fork. I feel like that would be kind of like the last thing I would do, just because every time it goes up and down, you gotta be careful your cables don't get stuck in the spring or anything like that. And then here, the rear spring, pretty bad pedals though for this build. If he wants to show off that bling factor, I'd probably upgrade these pedals a bit. He does have the XT brakes, which is quite nice. And he has a little sticker here in case he leans it against the wall. But yeah, probably doesn't need that if he's not riding it. But yeah, that's basically it. This is a bike, ProFlex. Would be fun to ride. I wonder how this front shocker goes. All right, thanks for sending in. Cheers, Ansel. All right, next one is David. David said, give me your worst in the subject. So, hi Gary, love your videos. I've been watching for a few years now. Thanks, David. Here's my fixed Kilo TT build up entirely with secondhand parts from my local co-op and marketplace. I bounced around from between flats and drops for a while, but the cruiser setup has been my favorite. Keep on keeping on, David. Parts list: old bars and wall basket, Ari grips, 1-inch Cane Creek headset, Selly San Marco saddle, Dura Ace cranks running 4917, so that's a high gearing, I'd say. Odyssey grandstand pedals, Mavic rims, laced to generic sealed hubs, Odyssey lever, and random Shimano front brake, stock stem and seat post. All right, here's his build, and he wanted a roast. So first up, got to roast him for this extra weight on his bike, these super long struts. I think there's nothing worse than having a super clean build, but then the last moment you're just like, I couldn't be bothered trimming these or cutting these off. Kind of just looks like a little bit of a hack job. Also gonna roast him for having his wheel too far back in the dropouts. You can see that he's got a massive gap here. Definitely the fellow fixie riders would be roasting him about that as well. And then let's see, going on, got his front cockpit setup. Pretty nice setup, I think. Looks pretty nice, looks pretty clean with all the silver and gray frame, black grips. This is a pretty nice brake lever as well, an Odyssey lever running a road rim brake. Again, if I had to run a brake lever, I'd probably run one of these, but being fixed gear, you should probably just take that off again. And then here, got the kryptonite lock in his front basket, and then another strap here. I can almost guarantee you he only wrapped the lock like this for his photo, because I couldn't imagine him having to take this in and out of this and unwrapping this and wrapping it through the basket every single time. That seems a little bit excessive. Yeah, I think he kind of just did this for the photo as well. Here's the drivetrain, Dura Ace, super nice cranks. Again, yeah, I think a little bit far in the dropouts here. Maybe could lose a link, I'm not sure. Got some Odyssey pedals, some straps, and that's basically it. Overall, pretty sick build. I do like it, nice and clean, pretty tasteful, I'd say. Just a few things I'd fix up. Long brake cable, Maybe the long extra bits is his thing. It's got a long brake cable here, long rack. But yeah, I guess you don't have to worry about that if you're going to take off the brake anyway. All right, cheers, David. Thanks for sending that. All right, next up is Jacob, and he says, roast in his subject, 1x9 drivetrain, hydraulic SRAM disc brakes, 100 XC spring loader, adjustable preload, set as light as possible. On his fork, stout handlebar, stout cranks, Rock Bros pedals, specialized bridge saddle, manic dropper post, specialized fast track sport with tubeless valve, not tubeless ready, 27.5 inch tier tires, specialized rock upper frame. I have no idea on the headset or the derailleur. Sorry if I missed anything. Total cost 1k to 1.2k. I'm not sure if that's American or Australian. But yeah, let's see if his image loads. All right, this is his bike. All right, this seems like just, yeah, your average bike. Looks like an average mountain bike. Not too much to say about it. Looks like the back wheel is bigger than the front though. Maybe he's running reverse mullet, 29 on the back, and looks like 27 on the front. And then he's got a white chain on the second lowest gear. I feel like his chain might be a little bit short too. We'll see about that once it switches to the higher gear here. Nice dropper. Got to take off this ugly reflector for sure. Empty bottom bottle cage. Crank arms not horizontal. Picture not horizontal. And yeah, I think that's basically it. Just your standard mountain bike. Looks pretty fun. We get you around. Thanks, Jacob. Thanks for sending that in. All right, next up is Nick. Nick says, roast in subject, roast my new project dad bike. A crusty Pashley Courier 3-speed Sturmer Archer servo brakes. Loving the vids. Thanks. We'll check back when it's done if it's within the rules. Stay easy, Nick. At Chef Disciple. All right, so here's his bike. Let's see if we can find a side pic. All right, so I feel like this drivetrain is absolutely hammered. Probably needs some love here on the drivetrain. And then this stand. First when I saw this stand, I thought it was actually he used a piece of stick or bark just as his bike stand, but it looks like an actual metal stand. And it's got some little cargo action here. Got some, looks like got different forks on here. These forks have been redone. Got a fender on the front, no fender on the back. He's got some weird shifting action happening on this bike. Got some little bar ends on the top. Probably good for when he's carrying stuff around here. Friction shifter. Yeah, this bike's pretty beat. Look at all this rust. Probably gets him around though. Don't know what that is. It's either an eyelet or the frame is starting to crack. Yeah, it looks like an eyelet from this bottom part. Yeah, interesting frame. I think the pedals are probably worth more than the whole bike. And yeah, that's basically it. Pretty funny cargo bike. I think the frame and wheels are pretty interesting. 26, 24. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Looks pretty fun. I think this kind of like built-in rack should be pretty strong. But yeah, that's basically it. Looks kind of cool. Cheers. Thanks for sending, Nick. All right, next up is Wang, and he says, review or roast, and says, hi Gary, this is my first bike, built it a year ago before I found this frame and bought it when I first saw it. Not in good condition, but I like the brown color and silver to match. I didn't know too much about ALL at the time, so I started researching and watching a lot of things from your content, and it showed me a whole old world. I enjoy it a lot and felt grateful because your video and this bike became a symbol for my life after some serious mental health issues at the time. But in all that helped me and dragged me out from slowly that dark moment. I found the passion again, which I wasn't able to feel for a long, long time. Even though I'm not okay now, actually, I still want to share this message for those who are watching. And this is now wish you can all feel inner peace and true happiness, even a little. Well, peace. All right, yeah. So I think this is a pretty cool message. Yeah, if you ever need cheering up a bit, yeah, go for a bike ride. Frame Trek 990, 95, same age as me. Damn, 95 years old. Handlebars, Nitto high bar, brakes poor, Moto light headset, poor boxer, rack jack to bike rack, Tange super light, front fork Tange. Saddle, SQ Lab, seat post, poor, leader cage, DIY cage, cranks, XT, pedals, MKS, rims, Mavic, front, quick release, XT, Shimano, hubs, poor single speed hubs, tensioner, poor single speed tensioner, chain, Izumi. Thanks, hope always well with you too. Thanks, Heyo, hope you feel better soon. But yeah, we'll see after this roast. So yeah, here's his bike. I think looks like a pretty fun ride. Overall, I'm gonna roast you for no bottle in bottle cage, no horizontal crank up, and seems like your chain tensioner here is a little bit long as well. I think you can shorten up the chain and have the chain tensioner sit up a little bit more. Brake cable's too long here, and then here is he's got his bike up on a stripper pole here. So I do like the forks. The forks look pretty cool with this segmented fork. I don't know what forks those are. Looks like an old giant fork. He probably mentioned it in his email. But yeah, I like the bars. I like the segmented fork. I think this looks pretty cool. It actually does look, the bike does look better higher up than it's sitting on the ground here for some reason. But yeah, I think that's basically it. Looks like a pretty fun bike. Non-drive side shot though. But yeah, some nice parts on there. The Paul brakes, silver, and the silver levers as well. I think it got a Paul seat post. Looks like he decked it out a bit. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. I think maybe he was trying to hide these little spoke things. You can see he took them off here, but he probably thought this picture was so good, I got to send it anyway. But then he kind of left these on. But yeah, overall, looks like fun. This also looks like a comfy couch here. And then with the non-carpeted floors, it seems like you'd be from maybe like a hot and humid area. But yeah, enjoy your bike. Cheers, Wang. Thanks for sending in. All right, next up is Christopher, and he said, review my bike. You can roast it too. Hi, Gary. I'm a recent subscriber to your YouTube channel, and I'm really enjoying your content. Thanks, Christopher. Thank you. Anyway, here's the only bike I currently own. It's a KHS Flight 100. I bought it used. The bullhorn, handlebar, and reverse brake levers were already on the bike when I bought it. I changed out the bar tape and said as soon as I got it. I also changed out the stem to something shorter, angled upwards to shorten the reach. It's always a good call. The brakes are mismatched. I found some used SRAM rivals. It's funny how everyone says SRAM, like it's spelt like this, SRAM. At my local bike collective at a good price. I changed the pedal straps to something that would match the bar tape and saddle. I recently got new tires, Panda Racer Gravel Kings. The bike shop guy told me 28s were the widest I would fit on this bike, but after getting them on, I think I'd gotten away with 30. I send 3 more pictures in a separate email. Alright, so yeah, whoever works at a bike shop, they're usually going to tell you what's going to fit within the specs. That doesn't mean you can't push it, but yeah, they're giving you this number so you don't come back if it doesn't fit because they don't want to spend more time on your bike, which I understand. Chris from Louisville, KY, USA, and he's got a nice close-up picture here of his brake, of his upgraded brake, and a little light. I think these lights are pretty cool. And then here, a bottle pic of his cockpit. I do like this bell setup. I've never seen someone put a bell this way on a stem, on one of these newer style stems. I think that's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's got his fat bottle here, got a light on the front, got leather grips matching his brown bike, and then he's got some tape on the top tube tape. Here you can see he used a zip tie, which I think kind of goes off theme from his leather bar tape job. He should have used twine here if he's going full ham on it. And here his side shot of his bike. You can tell Chris really likes brown. He's got brown everything on his bike. Maybe, yeah, really one with nature. Brake cable, no cable end, and cable too long here. Crank arm not straight. I know you can't get it straight when you're balancing your bike like this, but I'm going to roast you anyway. I think your chain is slightly too loose, and going to roast you for keeping these stickers on your rims as well. I think this type of build where you go kind of like an old-fashioned build, you would definitely, you know, take most of the stickers off, run maybe twine and stuff here. He does have the leather straps on the toe clips, which I think a nice touch there. At least he's matching. And then I feel like his position would be a pretty upright position by how high his bars are. All right, a few more pics here, back shot, and he said he did another few more photos. Nice frame, KHS frame. Got some brown on his chain to match the brown theme. Cool little Lego houses in the back. And then, is this just a fender setup? I think that's just a fender setup. Yeah, just a fender setup on the back and just a couple more accessories. But yeah, that's basically it. Looks like a cool bike. Looks fast. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for sending. All right, next up is Coby. And Coby says, "Hey, Gary, your videos have really inspired me to delve straight into the world of bike restoration. Keeping my hands busy with this hobby has really kept me out of some low places and honestly improved my life in so many aspects." Awesome, Coby. That's great to hear. Looks like a few people bikes kind of helped them, which is great. Over the last couple of years, I've spent countless hours resto modding old bikes for myself, friends, and family. This is my most recent and by far my favorite I've done. Thank you so much and please enjoy the build. Thanks, Coby. 997, Gary Fisher, Tazajara, Components, 8-speed Shimano, STX RC, STX Cranks, Olivio, Brakes, Nitto Drop Bar, 9-speed, Dura Ace, Bar and Shifter. Alright, so I think maybe Google Drive again. Let's see. Go to Flickr link. Alright, here's his bike. I think, let's see if I can make it a bit bigger. Alright, here it is. Let's see what he asked for. He asked for a review. Okay, so I was lucky before I roasted him for his non-horizontal crank arm. This is his bike. I think overall pretty sick build. Looks super clean. I think, yeah, he definitely put a lot of effort into this. His cabling is all super straight, very neat, well measured here, matched up the bar tape with the frame, and looks like a pretty nice tape job here as well, with some electrical tape on the end. Nice choice of tires as well. I think this tread looks pretty good for gravel on his gravel bike. You can see his seat post clamp is also pretty much in line. Nice shot from the front. Yeah, pretty nice cabling work. I think drop bars probably have the hardest cabling work because you kind of have to have them come out here at a short distance and they got to be long enough for it to turn all right. I think with mountain bike you can just mostly just make them longer and they'll be sweet. But yeah, nice job on the cabling here. I would say maybe your brake yoke here is a little bit high, but if you run a fender or any accessory on the front, I think this is a good position. Gary Fisher logo here, cassette on the back. I'd say your derailleur cable maybe slightly too short here. Just be careful with that. And then here's the front. Yeah, nice cabling work again and nice bars. Pretty even either side on the tape. Here's the tread. Not bad. All right, there it is. Pretty sick bike overall. I think this one came out pretty great. Thanks, Coby. Thanks for sending. Nice job. All right, next up we got Orlo. And he said, "Roast, I will repaint it so the result is the same as the original." If you know what brand of bicycle this is, some say Toyashi, but I don't know either. This bike has serial number T9201XXSX. Is that really a Toyashi or not? Or does Mr. Gary have any references? Thank you very much. Usually if you give me a serial number, 99% of the time I will not know what bike it is. All right, here it is. Try and make this bit bigger again. And Orlo asked for a roast. All right, so here's his bike. First up, gonna roast him for the reflectors, gonna roast him for horizontal, non-horizontal crank arm. I think he's got a skateboard here, but then he's got his bag on the grip here. So this bag's gonna get total, gonna get real scratched up from the grip. Gonna roast you for having too many chips on the back of your skateboard. Gonna roast you here for having your levers kind of like straight out, almost horizontal. I feel like that would kind of hurt your wrists a lot. And then you can see brake cable too long on the back. It does look like some fresh cables though, which is, I'll give him a point for that. Looks fairly clean. I think his drivetrain needs a clean as well. Same with his seat post. Got this sponsored by Shimano bag, so maybe you can ask Shimano for a few parts upgrades. All right, thanks for sending, Orlo. Nice bike. Cheers. All right, next up is Drop the Subject Kiddo, and he says, "Hello Sensei, I'm a big fan and flex to say that I've watched all your videos." Wow, he did it. Thank you, Drop the Subject Kiddo. That's a big achievement right there. He's probably watched all my embarrassing ones too from back in the day. I have this giant Rock 4000. A friend gave this to me and started to put things together. More power. All right, cool. So yeah, here's his bike. All right, so he asked for a review and a roast, and I'm going to do both because I've known him for a while and I appreciate all your support. But yeah, so first up review, I'd say it's pretty sick bike. I do like the tire upgrade, has a pretty sick stance. I do like the comfy bars here. Overall compact look. And then I do like all the stickers on the bike. Love a good sticker bike that's kind of fully maxed out, not just one or two. And then nice horizontal crank arm there. Finally someone who did it, and a bottle in the bottle cage, and the chain length is right. So yeah, props on that. And then what else we got? Nice little saddlebag, nice saddle position. I think the saddle here, not going overkill with the brown, but the brown ties in with the tires. So that's pretty good. And then looks like he's running 1x according to the shifter here as well. And it's got a little chain guard, which is cool. And then for the roast, I'm going to roast you for having way too many stickers on your bike. Can't really see the frame when there's that many stickers. Going to roast you for having a Gary shock sticker on a rigid fork. That's kind of roasting me a little bit because you're saying that this doesn't work. Gonna roast you for having a stem adapter on a threaded headset. Gonna roast you for having this funny looking stem. Gonna roast you for your cables being too long because you're probably addicted to changing your bars as well. And then, yeah, I think that's basically it. I think overall looks pretty cool. Looks like a cool build. Definitely, definitely seems like a fun ride. Thanks, Drop the Subject Kiddo. Catch you soon. Peace. All right, next up is Raphael, and he says, review. Hey Gary, here's my daily drive and occasional hill crusher. It's a nice steel bike from Brothers Cycle, quite rare in Croatia. Couldn't believe my eyes when I saw it in the classifieds. I went contra the hipster tradition and did the rare rigid to hardtail conversion because it was a bit too rough on the trails. I love it so far. And he just wants a review, so let's take a look. Let's see what else he has to write. I'm way into chunky tires for ATVs. Yes, you sound like a hornet's nest in the city, but once you go into the woods, you remember why you have them. Yeah, I agree. Lately, I don't mind running like knobby tires in the city because you get a little bit more grip, and once you get used to the noise sounds pretty good. And if you ever do go off-road, then you know you're not going to be slipping out on anything. So yeah, I don't mind it either. All right, so yeah, here's his bike. Overall, pretty sick. I think these frames are pretty good looking. Got the option for a derailleur here and also single speed. You can see with the horizontal dropouts. Nice little triple setup. It's got a massive range here. Upgrading the forks, Fox 32s. These are pretty nice. I think they should be pretty light. Got some knobs up front and the rear. Nice little saddle. Yeah, pretty nice build overall. It has a little green on the leather, which I think is cool. He didn't go overboard and made everything pink. And then here's the front, Ritchie Coyote bars, STX RC levers, pretty sure. Can't see here. Maybe they're XT. Got some zip ties with cabling, nice and neat there. Yeah, this bike looks fun. All right, so that's more to say. I call this a 1.5x9 drivetrain because it's missing a front D, so you have to shift the front by hand. It was a nice vintage Dior, but the big cassette got too much for it, and there was a bunch of chain slap. Thankfully, Sunrays came to rescue, and I'm happy with the smoother, a bit less street cred setup. I think that's cool. Manual 3x, it looks like. Gotta try that one. I think it's good in case you like run out of gear somewhere and you get stuck. If you're out for a long time and you get super tired, you always have the ring to save you. And then here, no front shifter cable, we said. Here, RDL LX. I think this is a newer type, but it has kind of like the servo wave body. I think the older ones have like a straight edge on the lever, and then the newer ones have the curved. And he says he's been loving these Coyote bars. Yeah, they look great. Looks pretty comfy. Looks fun. Nice sweep to them. Yeah, I think these levers are really cool. The gray and the black matches the bars. And it says, thanks a bunch. Greetings from sunny Zagreb, Croatia. Love Raf. All right. Thanks, Raf. Thanks for saying that in. That was awesome. Cool. All right. So I think that's where we're going to end it on. I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. And if you sent, I will get around to it. There's currently, the queue is 97. So yeah, catch you soon. Peace.